They used to call it the Dark Ages. But what if this was actually one of the most creative turning points in art history? In this episode of Armchair Art Share, we're exploring the Migration and Insular periods where movement, culture, and belief reshaped the visual world of Europe. From traveling warriors to illuminated manuscripts, this is the story of art in motion. When was the Migration period? Traditionally, historians use Dark Ages to describe roughly 400 to 1000 AD, especially in Western Europe, right after the fall of the Western Roman Empire. So yes, the Migration period and Insular period fall inside what used to be called the Dark Ages. Between roughly 300 and 800 CE, the movement of Germanic peoples across Europe gave rise to one of history's most dynamic artistic traditions. Often dismissed as barbarian art, the work of these migrating tribes was anything but crude. It was a sophisticated visual language forged in metal, gem, and glass, designed to travel as far as the people who made it. Because life was defined by movement, so too was the art. Rather than monumental sculpture or fixed frescoes, the craftsmen of the Migration period excelled in the small and the portable. Brooches, buckles, sword fittings, and jewelry that could be worn on the body or packed into a saddlebag. Yet small did not mean simple. Alongside this love of color ran a fascination with form, specifically with animals. The animal style reduced beasts to their most essential and dynamic components: a thong, a claw, a sinuous body coiling back on itself. In the 5th and 6th centuries, Germanic art developed what is now called styli, a visual vocabulary so abstracted that animal limbs, masks, and bodies were broken apart and reassembled into dense, almost hallucinatory compositions. Beginning around 600 CE, something new emerged on the western edge of the known world. In Ireland and Britain, where Christianity had taken root among Celtic and Anglo-Saxon peoples, a hybrid art form came into being that drew on all of these traditions and transformed them entirely. Insular art, also called Hiberno-Saxon, fused intricate knotwork inherited from Latin Celtic culture with the animal forms of the Germanic world and figural conventions from Mediterranean manuscripts. The greatest achievements of insular art were made not in metal but on the page. In the scriptoria of island monasteries, monks labored over illuminated manuscripts of staggering complexity, covering their pages with interlaced patterns so finely drawn that individual strands can be followed for meters without a break. But the metalworkers had not been surpassed, only matched. The Tara Brooch combines gold filigree, amber, and glass into a circular form that seems to contain the entire decorative vocabulary of the age. The Ardagh chalice, a silver communion vessel discovered in a field in County Limerick, covers its surface with bands of interlace and enamels so delicate they seem almost to vibrate. What began as art shaped by movement became art that shaped meaning, carried across continents, then preserved in quiet monasteries. The Migration and Insular periods remind us that even in times of uncertainty, creativity doesn't disappear, it transforms. And in those transformations, we find the foundations of the medieval world and the enduring power of art to carry culture forward. Thanks for watching Armchair Art Share. Like, subscribe, and join me next time when we talk about more medieval art.